Otherwise, we can sit here and just gossip all day, but
We could for several days actually be, because we like
It's
each other's
best,
company.
it's best not to.
Exactly.
Cindy's going to be joining us in just a bit, V, just so you know, to let her
Right.
in. It rocks up.
great.
Precious, come, sweetheart. Been hiding all day. Come on, darling. Come
You
on.
pick her up, or is she too? She doesn't like getting picked up.
I'm afraid because she's been so scared today. I don't want to make her more
Yeah,
scared. If she's
another
in the
thing.
mood,
Yeah.
I'll let her do what she's in the mood for. She has
So
gorgeous fur coat and I don't.
how did everyone go with their lessons for the week? Good.
I'll put a
Yeah,
thumbs up.
nice job.
Any insights to share?
Yes.
Go.
Mine was you could give the love of God to everything you see and touch and remember. If you don't, you're literally denying heaven to yourself. And so the area in which I live, the building in which I live, there's a lot of whining, complaining, gossiping people. And I just looked at them and just went, love. I wrap you up so loosely and so tightly in love that and they would just look at me and just break out into smiles and say, when are you going to sing for us again? They don't even know my name, but they want to know when I'm going to sing for them again. I just kept spreading the love, spread the love, spread the love. And it was a nice channel to walk through because it changes energy. It changes energy. Yeah.
Sure.
That was my experience.
Nice.
I do think that's sort of our job is to stop seeing separation and see unification. And then we are able to have people feel more safe in our presence.
And in their own presence, in themselves, they stop being so discontent.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah.
Oh, hello. Cats want to get on the action today. I've got one around my feet now.
Oh, it must be a cat sort of a day. I think Pluto has left Capricorn and gone into Aquarius today, right? So I
Jane
think
would
it's
Yes.
like a cool
Yes.
energy is happening and the cats must know
Oh,
it.
yes, really, for another 17, 18 years.
nice.
Yeah.
It's kind of a big deal.
Oh, I thought it was
The
even
last
I thought it was even longer than that, Jane. That's like 40 years or something. It's
no, no.
no,
That
because
it's in
we've gone through
Aquarius.
17 years of this or 16 years of this.
We're gonna
Yep.
if we don't get back on track, gang. Let's get back on track.
Oh, okay.
So,
That's
Mine-
right.
so I had the exact same one that Audrea had, which was, you who could give the love of God to everything you see and touch and remember are literally denying heaven to yourself. So working with clients the way I have, I've just been showing more love and support, texting people when I feel like they're stuck, checking in with them, doing that sort of thing. And it's been really, it's been different than what I normally do, but it's been really good. And I felt empowered by it. So that's how I've been living that particular statement out.
I love that because I find that I will think of people, but I won't necessarily call them. And I just like, I often won't speak to people, friends, for like 6 months or more. And luckily I have friends that were like, they're the same. Life gets busy. So when we connect, it's like nothing's changed. But everything's changed at the same time. It's like there's no bad feeling about actually not being connected. So thank goodness for that.
Thank goodness for that.
Mine was similar. I'm choosing to see love right now. I have this moment. And it's becoming a bit more natural to do because I didn't really need to think about it too much. And I don't think there was any point in time where I felt that angry about anybody or anything anybody did. So can't remember if I did. Obviously not hanging on to it, so that's good.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Would anyone else like to share how they went with their statement?
Yeah, I will.
Coralie, first thing. Oh, okay, cool.
So I took the first sentence of the start of the new section. The Holy Spirit will always guide you truly because your joy is His. So I hadn't even thought about it all week, to be perfectly honest. But when I look back on the week, it's exactly what's happened. It's just been, I don't know, joy everywhere. And, you know, got our veggie garden in and all those sorts of things. So it's just like everything's happening in the time that it should be happening, although a little bit too quick for me sometimes. But yeah, the joy is there and it's lovely. It's just really peaceful and joyful.
I'm so happy to hear that, Linda.
Nice.
I'm really happy to hear that, darling.
Thank you.
Who else would like to share?
My one was the Holy Spirit will guide you always because your joy is His. Lovely. I didn't look at it all week.
That's okay. Anybody else? Jane or Joe? City? Kelly?
Mine was teach the kingdom to the kingdom. And so what I got with that is be the kingdom to teach the kingdom. And so basically be myself.
Yes. Perfect.
And I did that all week because every time I went to Toastmasters or showed up, that's what I witnessed.
Yep.
Awesome.
Yeah,
City,
I
you
had
want to- Oh,
I had about the fact that we take ourselves out of the state of grace. We choose to be out of that state, you know, the ego. And I just got back a couple hours ago from, I just got off a plane. I was in southern Florida for a week. And
Wow.
yeah, and so I came across a lot of people, strangers, a lot of strangers. And it was fun. It was fun because I found people opening up to me for no reason at all. They really shouldn't have. And me opening up to them for no reason. And you know, on elevators, walking along the beach, yeah, I mean, you name it. And having conversations, just meeting them at where they're at, where I'm at. And it was really neat. I just love it, especially when it's with strangers, you know. So I'm feeling good.
City, did you want to share something? Your hand was up.
Yeah. Hi, everyone. I paraphrased it. I had written down, see the divine in all things and do what brings you joy. And I did give myself more permission to have a few adventures and go to the beach and just switch off a little bit and to notice where I might have gone into judgment before, could I stop myself and remind myself? I didn't succeed in that 100%, but I was actually more conscious of it. And I did have more opportunities to do things this week that brought me joy. So that was cool. So it was a bit of a mixed bag.
Mm-hmm. Good.
Thank you.
Harley, have you shared yet? Oh, you did. All right. Shall we get started on our reading then?
Let's
I'll
go
share.
for it.
Where's it gone? Maybe it's shut itself down. Sorry, people. Joe's going to share something at the end as well, and I'll stop recording when we do, so we might stop a little bit earlier. Yes, Kindle shut down. Bear with me. We'll have some on hold music. Da, 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 da.
Put on some elevator music.
There we go. It's up now. It's being a bit silly, but hopefully you can read it all. Okay. Share screen. I don't know why it's shut down to funny size now, but let's see if I can play with it a bit. Not really.
One of my biggest concerns about all of this. What's playing? Has been.
Oh.
Let me mute myself.
I thought that was me for a minute, so I've shut Kindle down again.
Pluto's revenge.
It's worth it just to see the look on your face, Gary.
Gary, you're muted.
You're muted.
You're muted, Gary.
Right, let's try that again. Still funny shape, but it'll do. So, if Gary, have you still got something else playing in the background, Gary? No, it's sorted now. Do you want to start us off with number 5? Can you read that okay? But you're still muted.
Sorry, guys.
Gary, you're muted.
It's a comedy of errors tonight. Okay, is it number 4B?
Number 5, we're up to.
5. Okay, here we go. When a mind has only light, it knows only light. Its own radiance shines all around it and extends out into the darkness of other minds, transforming them into majesty. The majesty of God is there for you to recognize and appreciate and know. Recognizing the majesty of God as your brother is to accept your own inheritance. God gives only equally. If you recognize his gift in anyone, you have acknowledged what he has given you. Nothing is so easy to recognize as truth. This is a recognition that is immediate, clear, and natural. You have trained yourself not to recognize it, and this has been very difficult for you, I'll say.
I got my lesson already.
Do you really? Oh, that's
I
good.
do. God, if you recognize his gift in anyone, you acknowledge that he has given you. And I feel that often when I actually, feel happy for someone, even if I don't have it, if I feel happy for someone, it feels like it's for everybody. It's not just for them.
Mm.
I also really like that nothing is so easy to recognize as truth. So you know how you get all caught up and you're not sure what's going on and stuff, and it's all yuck. But then when something's true, it just is quite a relief, and you just sort of can relax, and it's just there.
Nice.
When I was reading that, I kept getting this. It wasn't quite fully birthed forward yet, but I kept getting this sense that the Course in Miracles is so simple because it is always about recognizing the majesty of God as your brother. And that is our bliss and that is our heaven.
Wow.
Mm.
Hmm. It's magnificent.
I do have a friend, and I see that very much in what he goes through, is that he's going through this whole story in his mind, and it's like there's so much he could be grateful for, but he chooses to see things in a certain light, and it always comes back to the same pattern for him. And I've given up trying to change that for him, like, oh, but don't you notice everything else? Because he wants to be in that story and he wants it to be difficult.
Yeah.
Just going to move that up a bit. Anything else on that one, or should we move on to number 6?
Move on.
Okay, who wants to read number 6? Go, Adria.
Out of your natural environment, you may well ask, what is truth? Since truth is the environment by which and for which you were created. You do not know yourself because you do not know your Creator. You do not know your creations because you do not know your brothers who created them with you. I have already said that only the whole sonship is worthy to be co-creator with God, because only the whole sonship can create like him. Whenever you heal a brother by recognizing his worth, you are acknowledging his power to create and yours. He cannot have lost what you recognize, and you must have the glory you see in him. He is a co-creator with God, with you. Deny his creative power, and you are denying yours and that of God who created you. Hmm. So my question about this is, so everyone is involved in creation, no single person, but everyone. You do not know your creations because you do not know your brothers who created them with you. Only the whole sonship is worthy to be co-creator with God, because only the whole sonship can create like him. What do you guys see in that or understand of that?
I'll try to give it a go.
Mhm.
If we look at our world,
Mhm.
our world, we believe, is filled with division. And so as a consequence, there's wars, there's strife, there's different religions, there's all of that. That has been in the collective consciousness of humanity since time immemorial. And that's
Okay.
been created as our reality, as a consequence of billions of people being disconnected from their sense of God and from each other. So, what I get from that is yes, we have created this collectively to be what it is. And the way to decreate it is through, of course, seeing the oneness of God in all things. So we can create anything, but also collectively. And I've thought about this a lot. It's like I can create heaven in a now I've never done this before, so let me be very clear. I can create heaven in a place where there is hell. I can
Yeah.
choose to see oneness where no one else does.
Yes.
I can be in the middle of strife and have peace, and that's my creation. And if I do that, then I add to the relevance of the sonship and I add to my own ability to program my head and my intention for sorting on oneness. And I believe if I hold that space, I would be able to create an impact on others. So I think we can either collectively create hell or collectively create heaven. And the only way to influence anyone is, of course, is to be the example within your own life. That's how you influence others.
Right.
So personally, when I think about when I first read the thing, I walked hand in hand into heaven with my brothers or my sisters. I think I've shared this with you before. I thought, how could that possibly be? Because the truth of it is everyone else is too screwed up. Of course, that was my lower self speaking. Everyone else is too screwed up. And how would that ever happen? And I just, I came to the conclusion, no, I can create heaven in myself in this moment by choosing to see God in everyone. And that will be my heaven. So it's absolutely true. I can walk into heaven if I'm seeing oneness in all things. I'll be in heaven. I'll be in bliss. And that's how I've kind of framed it. My world may be different what other people's realities are, or your world may be different than what other people's realities are. But I think if we choose to see it as the sonship, then we create heaven. And collectively, we start creating a different reality then. Now, I don't
Right.
know if it answered the question, but I don't know how else to answer that.
Because this is speaking of the larger, of what we all have created, the reality of life on this planet at this time.
It's a separation. It's the
Right.
mind of separation.
Yeah.
But do I
makes
think that the world will change as we collectively all change? I don't think we'll all collectively change because we are here, each one of us individually, to have a different experience on the planet. Some of us are metering out certain karmic debts. Some of us have a divine
Right.
purpose. Some of us are suffering in the squalors of the slums in Mumbai. There are
Mhm.
people everywhere that will never be on the same page, not everyone, because we're all here in the University of the Spirit to pay back, to learn, to evolve, and we learn and evolve through suffering, and no one's on the same track because none of us have the same karmic burden. So do I think we can collectively do it? No, I don't. Can I see the world through the eyes of oneness? I've never done it, but
Yes.
could I? Yes, I can.
Yeah.
And that's
Yeah.
how I heal the world, or you heal the world.
Mhm.
That's the only way that I can frame it for myself. Kelly, you got your hand up, darling.
I'm the same. Like, it's seeing it through the eyes of oneness, because, like you said, not everyone can be at that level depending on their karma. And then I'm seeing, no matter who it is, even the person in the slums in wherever you said, India, I'm seeing them through my oneness, that they are worthy, because we're all worthy. And then I'm recognizing their gifts. Like you mentioned, Siddhi's gifts. And I can clear chakras as well. But when I heard that, I was like, well, I can clear chakras and I don't need the sound side of it, because I've got a different, unique way of doing it. And so I recognize my gifts, like Veronica was saying. If I can see it in someone else and hear it from someone else, then I'm in those gifts as well. So every one of us on here and anyone in the whole entire world could have access to those gifts because of the kingdom, because we're worthy of the inheritance. But we're all at different conscious levels of what we're seeing through our internal eyes. And this paragraph is talking about seeing it from oneness and recognizing it in another, so that you can amplify those gifts in their full potential, bringing heaven to earth through me and through the person I see with the gifts, and that we're all worthy.
I love that, Carly. So it's like, it doesn't matter who they are, if we can see their gifts, their beauty, we create more of that.
Yeah.
And we create it for each other, because we're giving each other permission to not believe we're unworthy. We're actually believing we're worthy. And like it says, if you see light, they see light as well. If you believe they're worthy, or you're worthy and they are, they see more worthiness as well.
Wonderfully contagious.
That's the kind of contagion we like. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
Shall we move on to number 7?
Yep.
Cool. Who wants to read that one? Can't see everybody, so speak up if you want to read. City, go for it.
You cannot deny part of truth. You do not know your creations because you do not know their creator. You do not know yourself because you do not know yours. Your creations cannot establish your reality any more than you can establish God's, but you can know both. Being is known by sharing. Because God shared his being with you, you can know him. But you must also know all he created to know what they have shared. Without your Father, you will not know your fatherhood. The kingdom of God includes all his sons and their children, who are as like the sons as they are like the Father. Know then the sons of God, and you will know all creation.
Hmm. Hmm.
I'm a bit confused now. You do not know your creations because you do not know their creator. What does that
How are you
mean?
thinking about that, B?
Hey?
How are you thinking about that?
You do not know your creations because you do not know their creator. So I don't know who created my creations. I'm confused.
Because in the paragraph before it says the whole sonship is worthy to be co-creator with God.
So is that saying my creations are not my creations because it's created beyond me?
I don't know.
So
Or
what?
is it as simple, as you do not know your creations because you do not know their creator? Is it what other people have provided, or
Maybe.
you base a truth or a reality around something that's been said or something you've heard, or is it that simple, or is it more complicated than that? We have our own creations, but we also absorb what other people have to say, or what society tells us, or, you know.
So it's not my creation. Whatever I've created has been co-created from everything I've experienced or is connected or I'm connected with. Maybe.
It's like the one ship with God. So well, this is how I take it. You're in the one ship, and I have this limitless potential that God is going to put through me when I am out of the road. And so the potential of that is unlimited, and it is God's creation. And I'm the channel to the one ship. And as I understand the kingdom and acknowledge it and receive it in its full potential, as I remove those unconscious, conscious layers that are my reality or whatever it is, the one ship is supporting me to understand, know the kingdom. And my karma may have kept me away from the kingdom. And so when I recognize the person in front of me is worthy, I'm connecting straight into the truth of the kingdom. And it's not my creation, it's the kingdom's creation.
Okay. Okay, I can make that literal now because on the weekend I did a brush strokes and bubbles workshop. So we were painting. You might see that little thing in the background there.
It's very cool.
yeah.
Well done.
So I created that, but I know it's different to what I've created before because I've been doing art classes with a fellow named John Gard. And I know that it's not just me who created it because it was under the guidance of the artist who was guiding us. And along with the other ladies in the group, I guess. So it was co-creating something. And I could say that's my painting, but it's been created by a lot of other input as well.
And not just on the day, but previous contributions as well.
Yeah.
And then the energy behind that, the power behind that is the universal power of the kingdom. So it's flowing through all of us. We all have the same opportunity, but not all of us recognize our worth in it until we have someone else that recognizes our worth, and in our group we grow together.
Nice. Thank you.
So, a question. Are we here to be overcomers? Are we here for awareness and to be overcomers? Are we here to create with others, to, and what about karma? Are we here to get past, to understand what our karma is and to work through it and put it on the back burner?
Well,
I know maybe I just said a lot.
yeah, I think the phraseology is interesting because I don't think we're here to overcome anything. I think we're here to become one with everything. Um, the idea of karma is that we have set certain things in motion that we will live through not the repercussions, but the like and equal energy back. But how we respond to that like energy back to us again, if we're seeing through the eyes of God, that repercussion from any karma becomes neutralized because we don't suffer. So the way that I keep seeing it is, yes, karma is real. There's no doubt that we're all living through our karmic destiny, but the way that we live through it, if we live through it as we don't deny the oneness of God in all things, then whatever that repercussion is loses whatever teeth it had. And we start seeing it as what I think it truly is. That's where we bring, this idea that God exists in all things and to celebrate that in others, which I personally find a little bit difficult to do, but I'm getting better at it. But when we do that, literally it begins to start losing the bite of any karmic debt. And but I don't think we're here to overcome anything. I think we're here to bless everything, to flow through it without judgment, and to see our brothers and our sisters without judgment as best as we can.
I guess where I'm coming from is in trying to understand where quite to place. I can look back and I can look within and I can see that I have been victorious. Over certain things, like I've studied my afflictions. And so I've become aware of them, I've studied them, and I've become an overcomer. I've left it in the past. So therefore, I'm free to
Okay, how you're using it then,
connect.
that word. Yeah, I get where you're coming from now.
Yeah. So, okay.
I love that too, Jane, because it reminds me of, how they say we're the diamond, and then we've got all this mud and crap around it, protecting ourselves, but also hiding our kingdom, as in knowing the kingdom internally, and basically connecting through the whole body, because every cell of my body belongs to the power of presence now, the kingdom. And so my diamond's been covered in that karma, in layers, multiple layers from my other choices, even in this life, where I didn't recognize my worth. And so it's re-engaging that and taking the layers off. So that's what you're talking about, Jane. You took some layers off, you worked on where your karma was, and then your diamond is being activated, your heart. And so you're able to amplify that and hold space for others and just be in the presence of love around people now, more than in your younger years. Like I was love in my younger years, but a lot of people were unable to meet with me where I was at, and I didn't know how to navigate that. And so this paragraph is showing you how to navigate that. Recognize the person's worth. So you're recognizing a value. Once you've recognized the value, there's this overall energy of the kingdom that's allowing both of you to recognize each other's value. I see worthiness in you, you'll see worthiness in me. And
So therefore, in many ways, we are shining the diamond. We are we recognize the diamond as the value and the beauty and the clarity and the And so we're dusting it off, we're cleaning it off, we're maybe even got our tools out and we're cutting the diamond. Yes, I see
We're
the
cleaning,
diamond
polishing it, bringing it back
polishing
to
it.
its vibrancy, which is our heart.
Yeah, vibrancy. Yes.
And
Thank
God's
you.
supporting us with that. We're not alone. Like God's or the Holy Spirit or whatever you want to call it, the universe is supporting that.
Yeah.
And Mother Earth is grounding us so that we can open more to that. And as we remove those layers of the pain point and the karma or the mindset, we're recognizing our true worth.
Yeah, right, Joe. Recutting the diamond to shine more ways. Yeah. Right. Hmm.
I kind of feel like even the act of recognizing the beauty in others and seeing their diamond is also what can help us to polish our own diamonds. So, and so our brothers can help us with it too, and sisters.
Or possibly it's one enormous diamond because there is no separation.
And we're all facets. Mm-hmm.
We're all facets. Oh, Adrian.
Yes. All right, I'm going to move this page up a bit. We're up to chapter 8.
Wow.
The journey back. Who wants to read that first one? Linda, go for it.
Knowledge is not the motivation for learning this course. Peace is. This is the prerequisite for knowledge only because those who are in conflict are not peaceful. And peace is the condition of knowledge because it is the condition of the kingdom. Knowledge can be restored only when you meet its conditions. This is not a bargain made by God, who makes no bargains. It is merely the result of your misuse of his laws on behalf of an imaginary will that is not his. Knowledge is his will. Did I already read that? Probably. If you are opposing his will, how can you have knowledge? I have told you what knowledge offers you, but perhaps you do not yet regard this as wholly desirable. If you did, you would not be so ready to throw it away when the ego asks for your allegiance.
Mm-hmm.
I think we'd already hit on that peace is what this is about, haven't we?
Yeah.
And that was a wee while ago. So yes, we're on the right track.
Yeah, it keeps coming back to the same concept, just speaking in a different way to hopefully catch more people.
Yeah.
You'll find this will cycle back later on in the course as well.
Yeah.
I don't remember it coming out quite this way before, though, speaking knowledge versus peace. So it is a different, same but different.
Yep.
Different imagery. Mm.
So the imaginary will, is that ego?
What was that again?
So number 6 within that paragraph, it is merely the result of your misuse of his laws on behalf of an imaginary will that is not his. So is the imaginary will our ego or connected to our ego?
That would make sense to me.
Yeah. Yeah.
In the next paragraph, it says that, Linda. Yeah.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You're a paragraph ahead of me, love.
I was just looking for an answer. I was cheating. I turned the page.
And I guess we've already decided too, as we've gone along, that the next paragraph offers some kind of a solution or a pathway to a solution anyway. So yeah.
And often our conversation will get us there before we've even read it. So thank you, Linda.
Yeah.
Well, it's great because it means that we are actually on the same page.
Yes, literally. Literally.
And we're unfolding beautifully. Wow.
I don't feel like we should go any further today because I'd like to get our lessons, and then I'm dying to find out what Joe wants to tell us.
But it's a short one. We can read it real quick.
Joe, why don't you give it a go, buddy?
Sweet.
Mm.
Well, I pre-read it, so I was excited to read it. The distractions of the ego may seem to interfere with your learning, but the ego has no power to distract you unless you give it the power to do so. The ego's voice is an hallucination. You cannot expect it to say, I am not real, yet you are not asked to dispel your hallucinations alone. You are merely asked to evaluate them in terms of their results to you. If you do not want them on the basis of loss of peace, they will be removed from your mind for you.
Yeah.
Wow.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
Ego's voice is an hallucination. I like that.
Right. I was excited to read it.
Yeah.
And that's like a great reminder to carry with you in the days to come, that the ego is just hallucination.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Not serving our purpose.
Mm-hmm.
All right, well, I've already shared my lesson for the week, but I'll share it again. If you recognize his gift in anyone, you have acknowledged that he has given you.
Hey, V, can you get us into a room so we can see each other better?
Oh, yes. That's better.
I'll give mine. Recognizing the majesty of God as your brother is to accept heaven on earth.
Beautiful.
Mine is when a mind has only light. It knows only light.
Mm.
Yes.
Mine is, you are not asked to dispel your hallucinations alone.
Mine is recognize this in your brother to co-create. So recognize worthy in your brother to co-create.
Mm. Yes.
And mine is that last piece. If you do not want them on the basis of the loss of peace, they will be removed from the mind for you. So,
So be it.
Yeah. Right away and all the time.
Mine is to imagine right here and now the most beautiful, glorious, brilliant, multifaceted diamond that just knock your eyes out and has the prism, and to know that I'm a facet, you're a facet, And together, our vibration is the brilliance, and that there is no separation.
Yeah.
We are the diamonds.
Diamond.
And mine is something related to what Carly was saying before: recognize the value in others and they will recognize it in me.
I think I'm going to go with your creations cannot establish your reality any more than you can establish God's, but you can know both. Yeah.
Mm.
There's a lot of
Thanks,
good ones in today's reading.
Mhm.
Hmm.
All right, let's stop recording now.